These are the base crafting materials in Path of Exile 2. Orbs of Transmutation will take a normal item and turn it into a magic item with one affix. The Orbs of Augmentation will add another affix to a magic item. The Orbs of Alchemy will transform the normal item into a rare item with 4 affixes. Orbs of Chance will randomly transform a normal item into a unique one. Regal Orbs transform a magic item into a rare item, adding a new affix. Exalted Orbs will add one random affix to an already rare item. Orbs of Annulment will remove one random modifier from a magic or rare item. Chaos Orbs will remove one random modifier and replace it with another one. Divine Orbs will randomize the numerical values of an item. Val Orbs will unpredictably change and corrupt the item, preventing the item from being crafted further, and Fracturing Orbs will lock a random modifier onto a rare item with at least 4 modifiers. The locked affix can no longer be modified in any way, and cannot be changed with corrupting or other orbs. This Gemini bow is a normal item. If we hit it with an Orb of Transmutation, it will become a magic item with one affix. If we then hit it with an Orb of Augmentation, it will be a magic item and will now have up to 3 affixes. If we then hit it with a Regal, it will become a rare item with 4 affixes. We can then hit it with an Exalted item, and we will have 5. Items can have up to 6 of these modifiers, which means we can actually hit it with one more Exalt. Now we have a fully crafted bow, at least in the terms of getting modifiers on it. If we use a Chaos Orb, we'll see one of these modifiers change. In this case, it became Dexterity. If we use a Val Orb, we can actually corrupt the item, changing it even further. This again is a normal item, but if we don't want to go down the list, we can instantly hit it with an Orb of Alchemy, and it will become Rare Item with 4 modifiers. Now these modifiers come in different tiers. Some are better and more rare, which is why we have different tiers of orbs. You see, the Orb of Transmutation is going to give a modifier, but a greater and even further so perfect Orb of Transmutation will give a higher chance at a higher tier. If we hover over an item and hold down our Alt key, we can actually see side by side what the modifier tier is versus what it could be. If you see on the top where it says adds 11 to 19 cold damage, well, 11 is on the low side because the low side can be rolled between 11 and 15, and the high side can be rolled between 17 to 24, meaning the minimum cold damage we can get on this modifier is between 11 to 17. However, we got an 11 to 19, with the maximum being 15 to 24, so not a great roll. If we had used a perfect orb, it would have been better. We can also further enhance this item or craft it higher outside of these orbs. Arcanist Etcher will improve the quality of a wand, staff, or scepter. Armorer's Scrap will improve the quality of an armor, and Blacksmith's Whetstone will improve the quality of a martial weapon. This is going to increase the primary armor, energy shield, evasion, or physical damage on an item. Let's take this Gemini bow. It currently has physical damage at 0 quality between 39 and 72. However, if we hit it with a Whetstone, that's going to go to 39 and 73. If we take it up to a quality of 8%, its physical damage is going to go from 42 to 78, an extremely simple way to increase the damage on an item. Now, we also have Artificer's Orbs. This will add a rune socket to a weapon, wand, staff, or armor. We can hold shift and add multiple sockets, in this case with the bow, 1 and 2, and this will allow us to craft in runes. Now these runes can do many different things, and they can all be purchased on the currency exchange. You don't actually have to go out and farm them. For a weapon like this, we want an iron rune. This is going to add 18% to the physical damage. There's also a section of greater runes, which instead of adding just a direct stat or modifier, will add something special, like meta skills gain 10% increased energy. All of these are runes, and all of these are added to armor, jewelry, or weapons through those rune sockets. Once we have our runes, we simply click on them, and then click on the sockets we'd like to place it in. Well, now the physical damage on our Gemini bow is 57 to 106. On top of this, we have abyssal bones. These are jaw bones, ribs, or collar bones that go up in tiers just like everything else. Now, a jawbone is going to desecrate a rare weapon or quiver, a rib is going to desecrate a rare armor, and a collarbone is going to desecrate a rare amulet, ring, or belt. Now, we also have craniums that desecrates a rare jewel, and vertebrae that desecrate a rare whetstone. Put into practice, let's say we use a preserved rib which desecrates a rare armor on this divine crown. You see it currently has 3 modifiers, but when we click it, it will get a desecration. In order to reveal what this desecration is, we're going to open our map, and on the right side, we're going to click to travel to the Well of Souls. Once here, we can take our helmet, put it in the slot, and click on Reveal. This is going to reveal 3 different options that we can choose to add as a modifier. You only get one, so choose wisely. Let's say we want 37% increased armor and energy shield, 32 to maximum mana. We will click on it and then click confirm. He's going to chuck it into the pit's going to chuck it back, and we'll have our new item. Just like that, we have 5 modifiers on the item, 2 of which we actually selected through desecration. While we can use the orbs to gamble and roll our modifiers, we can also use essences, also found in the currency exchange, to get a super specific modifier, one that we want to guarantee. We can upgrade a magic item to a rare item with that guaranteed modifier through these essences. Let's say I want to add 17 to 19% increased attack speed, and I want to guarantee that the next modifier I put on my item is exactly this. I can go here and then select my exchange and see that an Essence of Haste costs about 3 exalted orbs, place my order, grab my essence, and then here on my Sparking Gemini Bow of Splintering, that currently is a magic item with 2 modifiers, I can click my Essence of Haste, and boom, just like that, it now has 19% attack speed, and I guaranteed it. Soul Cores are a stronger version of runes. All of these can be socketed into your gear, just like the greater runes that we did prior. These, however, are going to be much more rare, much more expensive, but much more efficient. Omens are another way to guarantee an action happens when you make your next craft. Let's take the Omen of Homogenizing Coronation. While this item is active in your inventory, your next Regal Orb will add a modifier of the same type as an existing modifier on the item. Let's say you have a helmet and it gives plus energy shield %, and you want to make sure that you get another plus energy shield % when you regal that item from magic to rare. Well, you would simply right-click the Omen of Homogenizing Coronation in your inventory, and then click your Regal Orb, and then click your item to guarantee that happens. Something like the Omen of Sinistral Exaltation makes sure that while this item is active in your inventory, your next Exalted Orb will only add prefix modifiers, not suffix ones. Catalysts will add quality to a jewel that does something specific. So let's say Eshe's Catalyst will add quality that enhances lightning modifiers on a ring or amulet. Tool's Catalyst adds quality that enhances cold modifiers on a ring or amulet. This will replace other quality types. So if you're qualitying an item and you use a catalyst, it will replace that for a specific modifier quality on the item. Rare items can be disenchanted at a vendor to give you shards. Unwanted socketed or qualityed items can be salvaged at the salvage bench for even more crafting materials. At the reforging bench, bench, you can destroy 3 of the same items to get a new one. Let's say you roll terrible stats on all 3 and just want to start over, you can do that here. However, if the target is corrupted, if one of your items has been Val orbed, you cannot use it in the reforging bench. It should be noted that you can also craft together 3 waystones to make a waystone of a higher quality, that is up to tier 15. The only way to get a tier 16 is to actually Val orb your waystone itself and cross your fingers. In the Recombinator, we can take 2 items, select one stat that we like from each or one modifier, and attempt to recombine it to get the item. Let's say we want to make sure that our Gemini bow fires an additional arrow, and we also want to make sure that it has increased attack speed. Well, the chance for success is 31.6% and requires 23 broken circle artifacts, which you're going to find in expeditions. When first approaching a craft, we want to find a base that we really want. So I'm going to open the market with backslash and type in Gemini bow. When I pull up Gemini bow, I might set my buyout price to be a maximum of 5 exalts to see if I can find anything cheap. I'm going to go in the stat filters and type in additional arrow because I want to make sure that that is what's on it. The item rarity, I'm just going to set to magic and hit search. Now for 5 exalted orbs, I can get a bow attacks, fire an additional arrow, and 83% elemental damage as my base Gemini bow for only 5 exalted orb. That's actually a steal. And just like that, we're off to the races with a base that we want. I hope this guide was helpful, and I hope above all it was very simple to understand. If you found it helpful, make sure to smash the like button so the algorithm knows I'm actually doing something worthwhile here, and subscribe if you want to see more simply put guides.